morning all, and welcome to the ASX review for the week ending 10th of January 2020. I'm late again. I'm sorry. What do? Work is really busy. My part-time job that I took on 18 months ago is now a full-time job. And I just struggle on Fridays now to get home and do the vid. Not just time-wise, but I'm tired as well. And sort of facing the screen is, I don't know, it's a bit harder. And besides that, my mummy is staying with us at the moment. And I took her last night to the cricket. The Scorchers played the Brisbane Heat in the cricket. And it was awesome. It was a good game. If you follow the cricket at all, the Scorchers scored 213, which is a good total, and Mitch Marsh played really well, and then Brisbane did well to try and track it down, but in the end I think it was about 40 runs we won by. But it was a really good game, and my mum had never been to any sort of sporting event before, so the cricket or the footy. She'd never been to Optus, never even been to Subiaco Oval, so it was just good to take my mum. She's 77 now. So it was good to spend the night with her, and we had a really good time. So that's why I didn't do it yesterday, but here I am anyway. I'm doing the vid, so that's good. Anyway, let's get on with it. So the market had a cracking week this week. It was up 2.9% to close at 6,929. The XJO closing in on that 7,000 figure, and just broad-based gains. 165 stocks were up this week. 33 stocks were down, and 2 stocks did nothing. It was an interesting week. The tensions in Iran seem to evaporate as quick as they come. Donald Trump said the right things. I find Donald Trump, he's interesting. There's a lot of things, obviously, that I don't like about Donald Trump. But one thing good that you can say about him is he's not a warmonger. He's not out there trying to look for trouble as far as military sort of trouble with other countries. I think if George Bush Sr. or Jr. had been in his position last week, it could have been a lot different result. You don't have to love Donald Trump, but I think as far as the world goes at the moment, it is a reasonably peaceful place. So anyway, I won't talk any more about that. But, so tensions have gone. The gold price obviously slipped back a bit, and the market just was excited all week, and obviously had a good one. The top 5 stocks for the week. Orocoba, the lithium stocks, again, having a great run. It's been the last probably month or so now. VOC, they were up 10.34%, PLS up 9.68%, IGO up 8.40%, and the one down the bottom there, CSL, I'm going to talk more about them. They're a top 20 stock who have made it onto the top 5 gainers for the week, and that's a pretty damn good effort, up by 7.93%. To close just below $300 a share. They are an amazing stock, CSL. So I'm going to talk about them for a little bit. I'm going to give you 7 facts about CSL. I've got a few of these off the Australian Advanced Manufacturing Council. So let's go through them. 1. It was founded on April 14th, 1916. So CSL itself, or Commonwealth Serum Laboratories, initially it was. They're over 100 years old already, 104 years soon. Fact number 2, it began life as a government enterprise charged with safeguarding the health of diggers fighting in World War I. So that was their sole ambition originally, was just to try and keep the diggers as healthy as possible while they were in the trenches, fighting in the war, and fighting the diseases that were around at the time. So that was their initial intention. Fact number 3, it was one of the first companies to offer penicillin and insulin to civilians. Now, if you know anything about history, penicillin made a massive difference to longevity of humans. And obviously insulin, I think I read that they started providing insulin for diabetics in 1923. So that would have been a massive improvement in the health of people as well. Number 4, It was floated on the ASX on the 13th of June 1994. So it's been on the market for, what's that, 26 years coming up? Fact number 5, its original float price was $2.30, but that would be equivalent to 76 cents due to share buybacks over the years. I think that just states, as I said, it's now a $300 stock. That was 76 cents in 1994, the equivalent of 6. This is interesting. If you had have invested $10,000 in the float in 1994, you would have over $4 million today. Now that's incredible, really, those sorts of figures. I mean, if you had done one thing in your life, and you know what, I do know a guy that did, he bought 3,000 shares, so it would have been about $10,000. I hope he still has them. I haven't spoken to this guy for quite some time. He used to have the bottle shop up in Roleystone. Melvin, I think it was Melvin, his name was Mel, we used to call him anyway. And yeah, I hope he's still got the stocks. I hope he's still around. I'm not quite sure how old Mel would be, but I haven't spoken to him for quite some years. But we used to always talk about these stocks. It was his favourite stock. This was probably, I'm talking back in the, I don't know, early 2000s, maybe mid early 2000s, 2005. I can't remember exactly what years it was, but every time I went to his bottle shop, he used to talk about his CSL stocks, and he always told me to buy some, how good they were, and I never did. And it's a stock my wife told me to buy as well, and she's only ever told me to buy one stock. And yeah, so I do own CSL now, but yeah, I would have loved to own them all the way along, because it's just incredible. 10,000 into $4 million in a generation, basically. And fact number 7. CSL is a fucking unbelievable stock. That is inside stuff. You don't hear that on other YouTube channels, facts like that. And that's why I earn the big bucks. Yeah, it's just been unbelievable over the years. And yeah, I'd love to hear from anyone that bought these at float. If there's a few people out there, I'd love to hear the story and how that would have changed your life. And this is like winning lotto, owning a stock like CSL from float to now. So anyway, yep, CSL, probably the best stock on the market. I can't think of too many better than this over a generation. I doubt there is one. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to, oh, there's the lifetime chart. I forgot about that. Yes, it is. That's the chart from 1994 when it was back at 76 cents. Geez, look at that in 02, 03. It probably halved in value from 40. No, what was it? Sorry. I can't read what that is. 20 down to probably, yeah, maybe even dropped 70%. And then just took off again through this period. Bang, 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 bang. And just here we are today. Up near $300. So yes, unbelievable. Okay, now the top 5 losers. A few gold stocks there. So we've got RSG down 13.67%, SLR 6.07%, INA down 5.7%, URW down 4.67% for the week, and RRL is down 4.58%. So there we go. A very interesting week on the market indeed. At all-time highs now. Yeah, that's quite an achievement considering what's gone on in the last year or so with the trade war, and there's always negativity. That's what I try to sort of tell people. People lose their shit over day-to-day little dramas in the world. But they're always there. These things are not unusual, and you just have to look at the bigger picture. Keep in mind that the market is trying to predict the future, and of course no one can do that. We can just look at the information we have in front of us and give our best guess about where the economy is going to be in a year or 3 years, or 5 years. The longer it goes out, the harder it is to predict, obviously. Now, I've put it out there how I think Australia is going at the moment. I'm fairly positive on the whole thing. We'll wait and see. I've made a prediction that the XJO, the top 200 index, will be at 8,000 by the end of this year. It's got a long way to go. Another 1,000 points. Can it do it? It'll be interesting. It's I think it's an exciting time to be in the market. And yeah, it's funny. Not that many people are interested in the ASX, but that will turn. As if the market does keep going well, and the mainstream media sort of catches on and start talking about it, people will get more interest, and that can sort of catapult the market into bubble territory. When we start to have to be careful, us people who have been around and sort of watched it long enough will start to get a bit scared by where the market gets to. I hope that happens. And I hope we're out in time, because obviously all bubbles end the same way. But in my opinion, we're nowhere near that yet. We still got hopefully a good year, maybe a few years ahead of us. That's what I'm hoping. No worries. Have a the weekend's almost over. I know it's Sunday, so have a good rest of the weekend. Ideally, I'll try and get the video made next Friday. Obviously depends on the outside influences in my life. But if not, I'll definitely get it up over the weekend again. But till then, have a fabulous week, and I'll talk to you soon.